Okay. So we just finished a warm-up where we walked in a square for everybody coming on to this workout. So this is really working at trying to not do what we typically get into in a walking pattern, which is lean out from our waist and our neck. So pull everything back. I'll recap and then I'll go right back into the class. So, because we've been working at this for about 10 minutes, drop your shoulders, okay? I'm going to turn, and here's my exercise area. I'm going to walk, walk, walk. I'm going to turn my foot specifically going in the opposite direction or the forward direction. And then I'm going to turn. See, it's a square. It's not a round walking pattern. We've done that before. It's a square. I have to turn my toe out, come back. Every time I'm going to turn a corner, I have to turn that toe out. Now I'm going to turn and go the opposite way. So I'm going to walk, 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 plant my toe, go this way, but I am not going to lean out. Okay? Walk, 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 turn, walk, walk, walk. So it's a square or a rectangle. The point is you're turning corners. You're not rounding corners. So after you've done that and you've gone one way, then the other way, at least 4 to 6 times one way, 4 to 6 times another way. Then you get your pillow right in the middle, okay? We're going to walk up and over it, and then we're going to step really wide. And then we're going to walk backwards. And we're not going to be leaning out. We're going to lift our heels. We're not going fast. Then I'm going to step wide and come right into the line of where the pillow is again, okay? So I'm going to walk up and over it. I'm going to lift my other foot up. Then I'm going to step wide. And now I'm going to walk backwards. So I'm going to lift my heel, lift my heel, lift my heel, lift my heel, lift my heel. Here I am at the back of the room. Step wide to get into my pattern, my walking pattern, which is up and over the pillow, up and over the disc. Hi to everybody coming on if I haven't seen you in a while. This is being recorded. I just recapped what we did for our warm-up. We're going to be doing carries today. So I'm warning you, I have my bag here. It's full of, it's a vinyl bag, but it's full of weights. It's full of cans of food. It's full of beans. It's full of a couple of weights. See, I'm on my pillow. I'm going to step off with the opposite leg. And then what am I going to do? I am not leaning out. I'm stepping wide and I'm staying upright. And then I'm coming in. Now, I'm going to go backwards. My weights in my bag is right there. If I didn't step wide enough and I didn't look, I could step on it, right? So, do we lean out again and look? No. We turn our body, we drop our chin, and we dart our eyes. And we keep our ears over our shoulders over our hips as we lift our heel and step back, okay? So now I'm at the far corner. I'm going to step wide, but I'm going to stay upright and step in, okay? Take a big breath, and then you go up and over and around. Okay, you might think, I don't know, you might think, well, what's the use of this? Oh my goodness. I'm trying to, in this particular workout today, help us realize how much, in order to ambulate around our day, around our house, around our yard, around when we're walking anywhere, we lean out a lot, okay, to look at where we're going because we're scared that we're going to fall. So try to be conscious of dropping your chin, and when you do need to look, you're going to turn your body. You're going to dart your eyes, clear your way, and keep and proceed. Okay, I hope this is making sense. Now, I'm going to go down and grab my carry bag, okay? So I'm going to grab my very heavy bag. And when I say heavy, this sucker is at least 40 pounds, okay, that I'm picking up here, all right? It is. So you can make yours challenging, heavy for you. But here's what you need to think. When you go on a travel, when you travel and you pack your suitcase, okay? Now, some of us travel light. I don't know if Nancy's on today. Nancy does not travel light. I don't know if she's on. But this is like 40 pounds. This is very realistic as far as functional life type loading. Okay, see how I have this here? Here's the deal. Don't let it do this to you. Pull up, counter this pull. That's the work. By countering the propensity to let this carry you down like this. Don't do that. Make your back muscles and all your the muscles on the opposite side are working like you can't believe. Yeah, this is working because the heavy thing is here, but this is countering it, okay? Now, we've gone over our walking pattern, haven't we? So here's what's going to happen. We're going to go and pull this into the middle. And I told you to stay upright, right? Because we're going to take that wide step. And I have this 40-pound weight hanging right here. So now both sides of my back extensors going up my spine is working to stabilize this. All right? Then I'm going to pull that leg in. Now I'm going to put it back over on the same side that I started with when I did this. And what am I going to do? I'm going to counter. Then I'm going to pull my heel up, my heel up, my heel up. I'm walking backward. And I've got to keep pulling my heel up so I don't trip, right? Now I'm going to step wide. So you bring your carry your heavy bag right here to the center. Keep your chin tucked. Stay upright. Step really wide. And then step back in. Put it back on that same side. Okay? So here's my carry. I'm going to walk. And I'm going to step up. And I'm going to step over. And I'm going to step wide. Bring it center. Right here. So right here, I'm ready to go to the opposite side as far as my weight load. So I'm going to come in, but the bag is on the very same side. I haven't switched sides yet. So now I see what I'm doing. I just instinctively look to see if there's anything in my way. Because in fact, I'm going to walk backwards. And I have 40 pounds that I'm wrangling right here. Okay, I don't want to trip. So right now, check. Have you pulled your shoulder down here so that you're in symmetry right here? Okay, center, load, step really wide. Don't go forward and bring it back in. Okay? Now we're ready to change sides with this very heavy bag, grocery bag, shopping bag, suitcase, bag of soil, bag of bucket of water, bucket of soil, whatever. All right. So here I am. So I know I have some gardeners on here this morning, and you know how you feel after a couple of days of doing gardening, right? Well, I'm trying to help get you ready for that. Think about how you move. That's my main thing today. Because you want the gardening, so as I'm talking here, here's my carry. I've changed sides now. I'm going to step up onto my pillow and off my pillow. Now I'm going to go that way. So that means I'm going to step really wide. So I'm going to bring my load right here in the center. Shoulders are level. I'm going to step really wide and come back in. Then I'm going to put it on that same side, the weight load side. And what's your propensity right now when you have a heavy weight and you know you're going to walk backwards? Many of you already started to almost do it. You already started to do this. So we're trying to keep our chin tucked. If you need to look, turn your whole body and then dart your eyes. And then you're like, okay, I just need to bring my heel up, bring my heel up, bring my heel up, bring my heel up, bring it all the way to the back of the room or wherever your exercise space is. Now I'm ready to step center. So I'm going to bring the weight load here to the middle. Okay, you ready? Tight tummy, shoulders down. I'm going to step very wide to get right back into my trajectory, my pattern, which is stepping over the pillow. Okay, now I'm going to stay on that same side because the minute I do this, this side is taking, a hit, but this side is your equalizer side. It's working so hard. Don't let the weight of the shopping bag pull you down is the point. My shoulder is here, my shoulder is here. Don't let it take you down like this, okay? So hang on. Here we go. We're going to walk. We're going to walk up and over, down, and I'm going to go that way. So before I do it, I'm going to put my weight load center. My shoulders are down. I'm not going to lean out excessively, but I am going to step very wide so that I don't hit my pillow whenever that I walk backward. And if I'm worried about it, I will simply do what? Turn, dart my eyes to make sure my pathway is clear. Then this is a very heavy load for me. I'm going to walk back, walk back, walk back, walk back, walk back. Now I'm going to step wide, but I got to go to the center with my bag, okay, and bring it back in. Nice. So now I'm going to put my bag right on my pillow, right there. Open my hands, okay. So what we do? We're using a square or a rectangle pattern. We're turning corners. We're not going around. We did it in the warm-up, then we did it with a carry, okay? And I went both sides, and I switched the heavy load to one side, made myself do the whole waist, both sides, and then to the other side. Now my weight load is in the middle, right? So I'm gonna step out, okay? Now before we go down and retrieve it, we're gonna do a little thing a little move. We're gonna go way out with our toes. See, like a duck? See that? You'll feel different things happening in your hamstrings, in your back, in your gluteals. So I'm going to go way out like that. I'm not picking up the load yet, okay? I am going to act like I'm going to sit back, and then I do not, okay? So when I come up into this position right here, I'm going to take a breath, and then I'm going to exhale out. And this should not feel like hard at all because you're not going deep, because your toes are way out, okay? You are keeping your chin tucked. You are keeping your shoulders down. You're doing a high hip hinge, okay? You're not really doing a squat. So act like you're just going down into a bench, a high bench. So I'm going to bring my hands right here. Then I'm going to bring them out, okay? I'm going to bring them back down. I'm doing that high hip hinge, and I'm going to open back again. I'm only going to do about 3 more. So I'm going to go down. My toes are very, very out. So if Julia's on here, I know she's happy because this is kind of a dancer stance. The problem is with most dancers that are in it seriously, that's how they start walking and moving with their toes out. Okay. Big breath, and sometimes it changes the trajectory and the shape and how your hips work. Okay, so it's high and come back. Okay, now bring those toes in. Okay, we're going to be straight on. We're going to do our first set of lifts now. I'm lifting about a 40-pound bag. It's filled up with stuff. Okay, I don't have my weight vest on because I knew I was going to do heavy carries today. So I'm going to go down here and retrieve my bag. So pretend it's a shopping bag. Pretend it's a suitcase. Pretend it's a bag of soil, a bag of water. So here I am. I'm going to grab it, both hands, about 40 pounds. All right. So now my toes are straight forward. It's sitting on my little pillow or my little disc. And then I'm going to come just like this. So I can tell you that some of you, maybe not all, put it back down. The minute I came up, you know what you did? You bent your elbows to pull them up. So in fact, you worked here. And what I want you to do right now is work through your back. So you keep your arms straight, keep your shoulders down, push into the heels, and really make your hamstrings, your gluteals, and your back extensors are really doing the work right now, okay? This is a very important little move here, okay? It's not a little move, and especially if you have a pretty heavy weight. So I've got both hands on my bag. I'm pushing into my heels, drop my shoulders. Do not bend your arms. This is done with your back extensors, your gluteals, and your hamstrings, okay? So for instance, I know I have people that have issues with hamstrings. This is one of my go-tos to get them stronger because you're not in a real extreme, squat position. You're down here, your arms are long. You drop your shoulders, you push into your heels, and you pull up against that load. Keep your shoulders down. Don't let them squeeze to your ears right now. And yeah, we're doing several. So put that back down. Okay, take a big breath. Check your positioning, toes forward pretty much. Shoulder width, not too narrow. I got my bag. Now I'm going to push in the heels, keep my chin down, and pull all the way up. Squeeze your butt right now. Drop your shoulders. Then push, release the butt, come back down. Take a breath. Adjust your grip. Shoulders down. Heels, pull. Okay? Now, I can tell you for me, I'm feeling this through my back extensors. Not in a bad way, in a good way. They're working though, because I'm not bending my elbows and I'm doing a pretty heavy lift. Okay? If you did this lift and you did a series of squatting, oh my goodness, you've covered your upper and lower body, all in that. Okay, front and back. So this is called a deadlift. Okay? You do it carefully. And you really are pushing into those heels, and your knees and feet are in the right position. Wow, this is very, very beneficial. So ask yourself when you're down here right now, as you're starting to lift and pull, okay, where do your knees go? So see if you're down here, I can tell you that some of you are putting your knees in too far. And some of you, when you're down here, you're putting your knees out. So I don't want to do either of those. I want to get them straight on. Drop your shoulders, heels, pull. This is not fast. You're doing constant contracting, pulling. Now your butt should be super tight right now. Now release. Come down. Go into the heels. Do it a couple more times. Let's just do 3 more, okay? Now, I don't know what weight you've picked up, but don't be bending your arms. We're going to do that, but not right now. This is back extensor gluteal hamstring time. That's what this is, okay? Release, take a breath. Exhale, push into the heels, squeeze your butt. Drop your shoulders, drop your shoulders. Okay, do one more with me. Here we go. Heels, shoulders down, squeeze, take a breath, drop your shoulders, and bring it back down. Nice, just like this, okay? Open, open up, do a big hug, step wide, and then let the hug pull you one way or the other. I don't care which way, but here's what I don't want you to do. When you pull either way, you might have to bring your heel off the ground, but I don't want you to go out of the column, okay? What am I meaning by going out of the column? See, if you're turning and you did this, you are out of the column, okay? So the column is formed by your shoulders, your hips, the line up. So hug, drop your shoulders, turn, but don't go out of the column. So you're pivoting just a little bit on the outside leg. That means the opposite from where you've turned. Little pivot. See that? So that pivot motion is very important to movement that doesn't look robotic. So as I turn, I stay in the column, I lift my heel, and I just pivot around the ball of my foot, okay? And I hold it there for a minute, and then I come center. Drop your shoulders as you've got yourself in like a hug position. Drop your shoulders. One more time, we're going to turn, you're going to pivot, and you only pivot on one toe. You don't really turn the other one. So it's pretty straight. So it's a lot of work, movement work around your ankle, okay? Now then, we did a deadlift, okay? We did it carefully. And for those of you who really loaded it, and some of you might be saying, well, I don't have a bag, Jeannie, to load all that much weight. You know, those cloth bags do really well, a canvas bag, something like that, to load. And I like the central load. So if you can do that, do that. If you don't have one of those, of course, just pick up some weights. You can go down and pull it up and all that kind of stuff. The problem with doing this kind of a move with hand weights is you keep wanting to bend your elbows. And right now, the first move that we did, I wanted you to do this with all of your back muscles, your gluteal muscles, your hamstrings, okay? All right, take a breath, yeah? So now I've got my little bag. It's a pretty sturdy bag, okay? I did my deadlift, right? So now I'm gonna get my shoulders and my lats and some chest, a little challenge. So what am I going to do? I'm swinging it. But you know what I'm not doing? I'm not bending my elbows. Yeah, so this is legs, this is back, lower, middle, and upper. Keep your shoulders down. You are sending this weight. I'm sending 40 pounds out in front of me by a swing. Okay, that has to do with your hips. It has to do with everything with your feet. So it's a press. Hold your ground. Do not bend your elbows. Keep your shoulders down. Breath. Tight tummy. Go. Go. Just about 6 more. Breath. 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 3 more. Go. Keep your chin tucked. Go. Go. 1 more. Go. And bring it back down. I know you love that, didn't you? Okay, come back. Okay, you should be breathing. Split stance. See, I walked back. I'm behind my little weight bag and my platform or my pillow or my disc. And all I had you do is step forward like you're going to walk. That's it. Tight tummy, drop your shoulders, and come back. So all I'm doing is stepping a little wider than a normal step. Okay? Here's what I want you to notice. I'm not having you do your hands. I'm not having you do anything. I just want you to step a little wider than is normal for a forward step. Okay? What did you do with your back leg? Push back, tight tummy, drop your shoulders. Do it again. Here we go. Soften your knees. Step. What is the back leg doing? Some of you just do it without thinking because you've been so used to losing your balance and falling. What you did was, in preparation of that big step, because I'm asking you to take a wider than normal step, you know what you did? You did this, and you did it, and you didn't even think about it. You turned your toe out, and you took that wide step, okay? So why did you do that? Because you were trying to keep your balance. Because in fact, if your toes are straight on, just like they need to be when you're walking, and you take a wider than normal step, not extremely so, but a little wider than a normal step, you're used to getting off balance. So that is a huge part of every single class that I put online. Those of you who want to go on the YouTube thing, my kids got me hooked up with this YouTube channel that anybody can go on. You can get any of the workouts. I have about 5 to load right now. We're having editing problems. And you can get balance work, whether you're loading like we're doing today, or whether you're doing the Wednesday class, which is a mobility class. So how do you get there? How do you get there? And I've told you in the link letter, but in case you forget, all you have to do is the name of my company is Fitness Concepts Plus. And then you'll see my name pop up on the YouTube channel. I think I'm eating an apple or something like that. And then you can go pick whatever you want. The plus is the food classes that I put on. See, I stepped out again while I was talking. I stepped out again. And I hope you were stepping out the whole time I was talking. Because in fact, when I ask you, or when you have to take a wider than normal step, we habitually turn our toe out. Okay, that's not going to help our balance. Now, when you're in a tight situation and you're thinking, I'm going to fall if I don't do this, my first thing would be have a walking pole, have a wall, have a tree, a rock, whatever that you can put your hand on. But I'm challenging you to become better with your balance. So that's why I'm doing these repeated wide step. And I want you to feel, am I still doing that? Am I still turning my toe out whenever I take this wider than normal step? Now, I haven't done any dipping. I haven't done anything. I'm just asking you to step wider than normal, okay? Take a big deep breath. So now we're going to do a little steady step. We're going to hold it. So I stepped out. My foot is straight. My foot is straight. And now I'm going to just do that little rotationals, okay? And I'm doing it because I don't know if Marilyn's on today. She loves this move. But I want you to do it with your toes pretty straight, okay? And if you are feeling like you're just falling off balance all the time, by doing this, you do not turn your toe. What you do is step wider. You widen up. You still stepped as much, see? You just widened your platform. Instead of being on a little skinny diving board line, you're on a wider diving board line, is the point. This move right here with your toes wide, medium, or narrow is a really good balance exercise. And after you've done this and you're looking straight forward like I am, then you start to turn your chin. You can go one side, hold it, forward. Then you can go the other side, hold it. Then come forward. Then you go the other side, hold it, come forward. Tighten your tummy, switch legs, okay? So now I've split stanced with my other leg forward. Ask yourself, do I need to widen my base? Go on a wider diving board, or can I do the harder one where I'm almost straight my heel is over the toe in a wide stance. You get to choose that, but you'll see the complexity changes, the how hard it is, how challenging it changes. Then you start your arms. And then if you're looking forward, you keep your rib cage up. Some of you are leaning a little bit too much forward, okay? Then you take your chin with your whole head, you turn, you look one way, and then you look forward, and then you look the other way, and you hold your position. Then you look forward, then you look the opposite way. See, I came off. So you get back, and you keep going, and you try to hang on to your position. Okay, say rib cage up. Some of you are leaning in a bit, and then you look the other way, okay? And then you come back in. That's called an interset. Because in fact, when you're doing a deadlift, which we did several, and then you did that swinging, which I asked then more out of these muscles, then you take a little interset, which is what we just now did, okay? Now we're ready to do, in fact, a pull, okay? Some of you have done this in therapy because of whatever, could be a multitude of things, because this kind of pulling action really is beneficial. You can do it from one of those bands, like if you have a band and you have it around a pole or a table leg that won't move, and you pull against the band like that. You know, many of you have done that, which, great. If you have a band and you have it all set up and you want to do some pulls, do it. However, I have a weight here. I'm going to pull it from the floor into my solar plexus. See that? So now I'm not only working through the hamstrings, pay attention to this, Kathy. I'm pulling through my gluteals. I'm going to now, in fact, use my deltoid, my shoulder, and all back in through here. And those of you with shoulder issues, elbow issues, whatever, you got to know that if you're wrangling at this kind of a way, if you're wrangling a very heavy weight, which mine is at least 40 pounds, you are going to be weaker. So here we go. I have a wide stance. I'm bent over from my hips. That's very important. My hips are pushing back. Then my arms, instead of me pulling this whole thing with a straight arm, I'm going to, as I'm down there, I'm going to pull those elbows back and then straighten my legs. So we'll do it again. Take a breath. Put your weight down or your carry bag or whatever your weight is. Now, instead of standing up with a straight arm like we did a while ago, I'm going to keep my chin tucked. I'm going to push into my heels. I'm going to start bending my elbows and pull this into my belly button and then stand up, okay? So I'm going to be down there. I'm going to shorten my levers by bending and pulling and then standing up. So right here, your butt needs to be really tight. Now release it, come down. You don't go deep. So I'm going to pull with my arms and stand. Take a big breath. Come down. I'm going to do one more where I'm standing, and then I'm going to do some repeats in this position. It's going to go pull, and you stand, okay? So now when we put this down, we're going to stay down there. So I'm going to think that you understand the position. You've got your heavy weights or bag, however you have it. You're in your heels. Now I'm going to stay down in this position. I'm going to turn so you see my back. And I'm going to pull right into my belly button with my hands. See that? So I'm going to go pull. I'm going to stay down, stay into the heels. I'm going to go pull. My shoulders are very, very pressed down, a lot. Do not let your shoulders come to your ears. So all I'm doing is pulling my elbows back. Keep my chin tucked. Stay down there. Just a little. It's not a deep hit. It's not a deep squat. Pull those elbows back. So this should remind you of maybe getting down and you're going to pull the rope or pull the chain on a lawnmower. Okay. Some of us still remember that. Okay, here we go. Keep those elbows tight. Pull, 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 pull. 2 more. Pull, 1 more. Pull. Yay. Open your hands. Open your hands, open your hands, open your hands. Pull the fingers back. See how I drop it? See that? This is a great time to do a little split stance. See? Pull those hands back, not a wide one. Then come back, split stance. So when you do it, kind of, you know, just as a natural second thought, did you turn your toe out? See, when you just stood, I just said, do a split stance. Some of you, in fact, when you did the split stance and we were pulling here, we were thinking this. We were thinking, what are we doing with our upper body? And in fact, when you put your foot back, you turned it out, okay? So I'm calling you on that because that's not what we want to do, is it? We want to get our balance better. Standing on a very narrow line. Okay, so I just shook out my hands. I press back, press down, press back, press down. I did a pull, right, with this heavy carry, okay? And now I'm going to use this in a minute, but right now I'm going to put it over to the side, okay? Now I know that many of you have free weights out there. Some of you may not. Some of you may need to be doing this with just a very lightweight. And some of you might not be ready. So pick up any kind of a can and use that. I'm going to go a little heavier. So I'm going to pick up a 12-pound weight. In fact, in my hands. Okie dokie. So here I am behind my pillow again, and I'm going to step in the pillow, all right? I'm going to be leaning forward a bit, not a ton. Let me turn to the side so you'll see what I'm doing. So if I put my foot there on my pillow, see, instead of doing this up here, I'm going to lean out as if I were running a race, and I was going to go across the ribbon, okay? So I'm going to be in that position. I'm going to keep my shoulders down. I'm going to do one hand at a time. Okay, these are pretty heavy. And I want one hand coming right up here in a typical curl, just like that. But here's the deal. Here's the deal. When I put my foot on the pillow, it's an unstable surface, right? When you bend your front knee a little, drop your chin, you're leaning in, okay? Now I pull that weight, and I'm doing some of the same load as I did whenever I was trying to use my back extensors in the deadlift, okay? But now I'm working through the front part of my arms. At the same time, man, my hamstring and the front leg is working, okay? My back extensors are working, or I'd fall over on my nose. Breath. Keep your wrists neutral. Breath. Do not pull your shoulders up. Keep your shoulders down. Keep on the whole foot in the front. I'm only on the toe in the back. Okay, I can do maybe 2 more. Keep leaning. Breath. Breath. and come back, okay? It's your front leg in the hamstring and gluteal that's zinging right now. Turn that toe out. So you remember our warm-up where we did the square walk? We had to turn our toe out, right? That's what you're doing right now to release all those muscles, all right? Bring it back. Take a breath. I'm going to put my weights down for a second. So I'm going to fold. I'm going to open my hands. Take a little break, right? So I'm going to use this 12-pound weight, which for me is kind of a medium heavy, all right? So whatever it is that you can really feel this, but one of the biggest reasons I'm doing this position is to challenge, again, your hamstring. And now we're doing one side or the other. And by putting the foot on that unstable pillow, wow, you have to use this like never before, okay? So I'm cautioning those of you like Kathy that have like hamstring that she's working with to not re-injure, but to strengthen. Okay, you ready? We got this other foot to do. I didn't forget. Here we go. Drop. I mean, you guys, seriously, this is the best place you could be right now. I mean, especially if you're in Michigan, because it's a very dark, cloudy day. Nice, but dark and cloudy. So anyway, we'll get our workout done and everything will be better. Okay, you ready? I'm going to step in there now with my other leg. I'm going to be on the toe of my foot that's on the floor because I'm in fact going to lean forward. See that? So even though I'm leaning forward on this leg that's on the pillow, I don't take my heel or my toe off. I'm on my whole foot, all four corners. The back leg, the heel comes up a little because you're pushing yourself forward as if you were running a race, okay? So here we go. I'm going to drop my shoulders, and this time I'm going to bring my elbows up, and I'm going to push back. And I'm going to do one at a time. But I will never take my hand back with a heavy weight if my shoulders are not pushed down nicely. Push down and keep my elbows tucked. Some of you try to do this flaring your elbows. That is a mistake. Don't do it with a heavy weight. You keep those elbows tucked. This way, we're working the back of the shoulder, the back of the arm. I'm leaning in. So my back extensors are working mightily. My foot is really working to keep me on balance. And the hamstrings are keeping me from falling over on my nose. Breath, push, breath, push, breath. Breath, exhale, breath, exhale. Keep your chin tucked. Keep your chin tucked. Keep your shoulders down. Keep leaning. Keep going. Take a breath. Take a breath. Take a breath. One more. One more. And come back. And come down. Nice. Now hang on to those weights. Now you bring your shoulders up and drop them. Okay? The weight is hanging off my fingertips. So I'm not gripping anymore. They're just hanging on my fingertips. But I'm in my heels, then I'm in my toes. So I'm rotating back and forth. And I'm lifting the shoulders to the ears. And I want you to be standing pretty upright with this. So don't push the hips back. Be on all four corners of your feet as you lift these weights right up with your shoulders to your ears. When you get up there, hang on for just a second, then push them down, okay? Keep your chin very tucked. Keep your tummy tight and stand upright. So you're on all four corners of your feet. You can lean a little to the heels, then you can lean a little to the toes, but you're pretty upright. Your knees are not locked. They're soft, but they're not bent, okay? So this is a really good neutral stance exercise or movement, okay? So do a couple more. So in fact, I'm asking all my shoulder girdle, because I'm doing shoulders to the ears move. I'm using a lot of my neck, a lot of my upper back muscles to lift 24 pounds. So I got 12 and 12. So some of you may need to go lighter. Some of you may just need to learn how to do this move all the way up to your ears and then all the way down, okay? And you need to learn to do it repeatedly so that you get some endurance in those muscles, all right? So I'm just lifting and pressing, and I'm being very conscious of where my weight is shifting. It might be in the heel, it might go to the toe, but I keep my shoulders really, when they're going down, they drop right at that point. Say rib cage up. It'll make you extend through your back. Take a breath, bring them back down, just two more. Here we go, one more. Breath, and bring it down. Nice. Okay. Now I'm going to put these medium weights right beside me at my chair. Okay, we are going to do some squats, and we're going to do it with our chair today, our kitchen chair. Okay. Okay. So, big breath. So today has been really where I'm trying to get you to turn on and turn off both sides of the muscles in your body. Really think about how you use that ankle and foot, all right? A high hip hinge is very valuable, but you need to be conscious of your breathing. So when you go into that high hip hinge, you see, it's not a squat. Act like it's a high bench. Okay, very valuable. And at this point now, we're going to turn our toes in. So you're going to turn your toes in like a pigeon toe. Okay, and it feels weird, all right? So drop your shoulders, and now you're going to do that high hip hinge. See that? I'm going to keep my chin tucked, shoulders down, rib cage up, and I'm going to do a high hip hinge, and then I'm going to come back, all right? And you're not going to feel a lot of, heavy work or anything like that, but the breathing you call into play in this move all of the pelvic floor attachments to your leg muscles. If you're coming up, and whichever is hard for you, and don't get worried about it, just breathe in and exhale out. Not a lot of volume, because I don't want you to get hyperventilated, but you're just, and if it helps, put your hands right here at your lower abdomen. Because some of you, when you're breathing, you're doing all upper body, shoulder, and chest breathing. You don't even bring your diaphragm into it. You kind of have to train to do that, okay? And who's best suited to do that? Well, trainers that know about it. Go talk to any singer that really has been trained. They know how to breathe with their diaphragm, okay? And it affects your pelvic floor muscles. Why is that important? Because that affects the pervasive incontinent problem that so many of us have. So I'm just sharing a lot of this kind of a thing that can really help with your breathing. That's what affects that pressure down there, okay? Breath, so I've done probably 10. Then I'm going to bring my toes forward, and we did a lot with our toes out already. So those 3 positions, and you're saying, well, how many should I do? It's something that you have to really attend to. And when I say 30, that's like, oh my gosh, I can't do 30. So start with 10 position in each position, and then think, how am I breathing? Am I filling my diaphragm? and bringing it in. So just by virtue of breathing in and out, you are using your transverse muscles and stuff a lot more. Okay, now I'm here in front of my chair. So just so you know, that little interset that we just did, that was a resting move. I want Kathy to know that if she's on.
Well, then you need to know that we did 20, not 10.
Kathy, work with me here. I didn't want to tell them that. Okay, are you ready? Everybody ready? Here's my chair. Here's my weights. What are my weights? They're a medium heavy for me. There are some of you who just need to learn how to use your own body weight in a seated position as you're seated and then standing. And you need to not worry with weight, okay? Everybody's at different levels. So let's just do like 2 standing, just no weights, all right? Because some of us have to relearn some bad habits. So my goal is for anybody that comes on with me is for them to within I would say 3 weeks for sure, okay? 2 weeks, people will see noticeable changes, but for sure 3 weeks and 4 weeks, if you've been coming in on me, I want you to be able to stand up from any kind of a normal chair. I'm not talking about a real low one. That's not what we're talking about here, but a normal chair. When you go to get up, widen up, number 1. Not way wide, just wide as your shoulders, okay? When you go to stand up, don't do that funny rocking thing, all right? Just don't do it, because then you're not using your muscles. Take a breath. When you go to stand up, put your hands out in front of you as if somebody was pulling you, okay? So you're going to breath, exhale, heels, and you're up. Just touch your shoulders. Now we're going to go down the same way. We're going to go down. We're going to push our butt back. We're going to come right down into a nice controlled landing. Here, let's do that one more time. Now you can use your hands every time, or you can just hold them right here. Okay, take a breath. Start to exhale. Push into the heels. Then go back down. Inhale, inhale, inhale. And take a breath. And then exhale, exhale, exhale. You're in your heels. Notice what you do with your knees. Okay? Many of us pull our knees in or we take our knees out. And all of that has to do with your flexibility all through your hip attachment muscles. It has to do with a lot of stuff like that. But mostly you can change it if you are trained to change it, okay? And you will get stronger because of it. That's what you need to hear. So now I'm going to grab my weights. Are you ready? So I'm going to come right into here. I'm going to lift my butt just above the chair. I'm going to hold it down here. And I'm going to touch my back of my legs on the chair and then come back. Touch, come back. Touch, come back. Touch, come back. So in your heels to your toes. Touch, come back. Touch, come back. Take a breath. Take a breath. So you're doing little contractions down there, but your muscles are working really hard. Breath, breath. Now get ready. Okay, get ready. We're going to come up. Come up. Ah! So you should be screaming right now. Because if you did that right, you really push these. Yeah, your quads. So here's the message. When you're going to do a regular, safe for your knees, safe for your back, safe for everything, a squat, it's going to be about the height of a chair. Right here. See that? And then come back up. Some of us think that we're going down low, when in fact all we're doing is taking our upper body down. I want you to come down with your butt. So stay in that mode. Go into it, back. Into the heels, back. Stay down there, back. Touch the chair, back. Touch the chair, back. Touch the chair, go. Keep going. Breath. 3 more. Here we go. Here we go. 1 more. And come up. Yay! Take a breath. Yeah. I know you loved it. Bring your weights. Put them right here on your shoulders. See that? See, I'm just hanging on to them with a thumb. See that? Okay. Take a big breath. I'm going to bring a knee up here. And I'm going to tap down. I'm going to bring it up. And then I'm going to put my heel down. And I'm doing it on my pillow. So I'm going to go up, toe, up, heel. Bring it up and toe. Bring it up and heel. 1 more. Bring it up, toe, up, heel. Now your supporting leg should be bent at the knee. Okay, say rib cage up. Just hang on to these weights right here. Keep your rib cage nice and high. Shift. Here I go. I'm going to bring my knee up. I've changed legs now. I'm going to go toe. Then I'm going to go up. I'm going to go heel. Straight leg. Keep your supporting knee soft. Up. Toe. Up. Heel. Up. Toe. Up. Heel. We got 1 more. Go up. Toe. Up. Heel. And bring it back. And I'm going to take these off my shoulders. Okay. Woo. Shake out, shake out, shake out. Do a big hug. Big hug. Okay. Big breath. So when you do that hug, I want you to step over your midline. Then come back. Pull your elbows down. Step over the midline. So that right there, that move really helps your back and your gluteals to release all up through the hip. Just stepping over and back, holding on to a hug with your elbows pulling down. Keep your chin back. And do I have to tell anybody to tighten their tummy in right now? I know, I know. Everybody has their tummy in nice and tight, right? I didn't even need to say it, did I? But I know we have slugs. And that's okay. I love slugs, right? Okay, bring it down. Shake out, shake out, shake out. Woo!